Hello dear students, welcome to the video classes. Today we will begin with chapter number 1 in history. The title is Bricks, Beads and Bones. It will be a study of Harappan Civilization. So let us study now. Dear students, do you know the meaning of civilization? Well, a civilization is generally defined as an advanced state of human society containing highly developed forms of government, culture, industry, and common social norms. Therefore, some of the characteristics of civilization includes they have urban centers, agricultural development is there, irrigation and storage facility is there, written language, standards of measurements, craftsmen and technology, social divisions, state government, and the last but not the least, common religion and culture. All these things together define civilization. Dear students, you can see that this is the map of Asia, Europe and Africa. You can see very clearly Harappan civilization, which is here in the map. It is very much part of Indian civilization. And as you move toward the east, here you find Chinese civilization. When you move toward the west, here you find Mesopotamian civilization. And further to west in Egypt, it is Egyptian civilization. So you see that Harappan civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, Egyptian civilization, and Chinese civilization, they almost flourished at the same time. Remember, they almost flourished at the same time. And you can see one interesting feature about these civilizations, whether Harappan civilization, Mesopotamian, Egyptian, or Chinese. Let us see what are the most important, significant thing about this civilization. See, Harappan civilization developed at the banks of river Indus and Saraswati. Mesopotamian civilization developed at the banks of two rivers, Tigris and Euphrates. Egyptian civilization developed at the banks of one important river called Nile River. Chinese civilization developed along the banks of Huanghe River. So, all these civilizations, the common characteristic is that they all developed at the banks of rivers. Let us understand what makes Indus Valley civilization very special. Remember, whether Egyptian civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, or Chinese civilization, none of them is called urban civilization. It is only Indus Valley civilization is called urban civilization, because when other civilizations were not aware of city culture, city life, but in Indus we find people understood the concept of city centers, city culture, and how to build the houses, how to have a proper town planning. All these things, the people living in Indus Valley, they developed. While other civilization, the people who were living there, they were still having that rural setup. It was a rural setup. It was villages, big villages, small villages, but the idea of city was not there. But Indus Valley civilization or Harappan civilization is very special, and that special thing about this civilization is that it has urban centers. Okay. Now the contents which you are about to see, I have taken it from one website channel called Uniclass Content, and I am grateful to them that I can use their content to teach you. Thanks a lot to Uniclass content.
Town Planning and Architecture in Mohenjo-daro. In this module, you'll learn about the town planning and architecture of Mohenjo-daro, one of the main urban settlements of the Harappan Civilization. One of the most unique features of the Harappan Civilization was the development of large urban centers such as Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Although Harappa was the first site to be discovered, Mohenjo-daro became more well known because it was one of the largest urban settlements of the Harappan Civilization. Archaeological excavations at Mohenjo-daro reveal that the city of Mohenjo-daro was divided into two sections, the citadel and the lower town. The citadel was smaller but higher, while the lower town was larger but lower. Archaeologists believe that the citadel was a fortified settlement and consisted of some important structures such as the Great Bath and the warehouse, while the lower town consisted of houses and workshops. The warehouse in the citadel area was a massive structure. Archaeological evidence suggests that the lower portion of the warehouse was made of bricks and the upper portion was probably made of wood. The Great Bath in the citadel area was a large rectangular tank which archaeologists believe was meant for special ritual baths. The tank was located inside a courtyard and was surrounded by a corridor on all four sides. The tank was mortared with gypsum to make it watertight. Two-step ways led to the tank, one from the north and another from the south. The tank had bricks in its edges and a huge drain on one side. Most of the houses in the lower town had a central courtyard with rooms surrounding it. The courtyard was probably used for activities such as cooking and weaving during the summers. In order to maintain privacy, the main entrance of most houses was positioned in such a way that it did not give a direct view of the interiors. In addition, no windows were present in the walls of the ground level of the houses. Archaeological evidence suggests that the buildings in the citadel in the lower town were built on platforms which acted as foundations for the buildings. These platforms were made of mud bricks that were either sun-dried or baked and were of a standard size. The length of each brick was 4 times the height of the brick and the breadth was 2 times the height of the brick. It's very unfortunate that none of the Harappan architecture has completely survived the test of time. All we see today are the ruins of very sophisticated and advanced civilization whose architecture continues to be the center of historical debate for so many because so much remains unexcavated and unexplored. Let's recall what you've learned. One of the most unique features of the Harappan civilization was the development of large urban centers such as Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Archaeological excavations at Mohenjo-daro reveal that the city of Mohenjo-daro was divided into two sections, the citadel and the lower town. The warehouse in the citadel area was a massive structure. The Great Bath in the citadel area was a large rectangular tank which archaeologists believe was meant for special ritual baths. The tank was located inside a courtyard and was surrounded by a corridor on all 4 sides. The houses in the lower town were built along roads and streets that were laid out in the form of a grid. Most of the houses in the lower town had a central courtyard with rooms surrounding it. In order to maintain privacy, the main entrance of most houses was positioned in such a way that it did not give a direct view of the interiors. Archaeological evidence suggests that the buildings in the citadel and the lower town were built on platforms which acted as foundations for the buildings.